These kids are just the same as any other kids, you know, Indian kids, white kids, black kids, they're kids.
The people here are just incredible.
Isn't it strange that I'm out here like 7 miles away from a town that nobody has ever heard of before?
Overall, it was just a life-changing experience.
And it isn't even a little stranger that I chose to come here.
I think I've grown a lot.
There's so much to be done. There's so many people to touch.
JVC is definitely the most important decision I've made so far.
The Jesuit Volunteer Corps began in the late 1950s when 4 college women from Massachusetts journeyed to Copper Valley, Alaska to spend a year as volunteer teachers. The word quickly spread about the great need for teachers in Alaska and the challenges a year there could bring. In the 1960s, these Alaska lay missionaries became known as the Jesuit Volunteer Corps. Each year, more than 400 motivated women and men still respond to this challenge and volunteer full-time in a variety of innovative urban and rural programs throughout the United States. From the inner city of Philadelphia to the rural Pacific Northwest, the volunteers are as diverse as the people they serve. Jeffrey Strickland of Huntington Beach, California, speaks about his reasons for joining the Jesuit Volunteers.
I was kind of just following around the leads that basically the rest of my classmates in society was kind of laying out for me, you know, success and a house and a job and all that stuff. And I found myself completely bored and, you know, didn't know what really I was doing in school. And I took an anthropology course my sophomore year that kind of turned the lights on, so to speak, to things that were out there besides my own little personal goals. And I started to understand that there were people out there that were leading creative, loving, rich lives that were not really getting the benefit of all the resources we have in our society. So in my senior year, I heard JVC mentioned, and I really didn't look anywhere else. I looked right into the JVC, and it seemed exactly the thing that I needed to fulfill myself, to fulfill my own kind of inner calling. Sure. Not to sound too dramatic.
The Jesuit Volunteer Corps has a primary commitment to the promotion of justice, offering alternatives to people who may not have many options.
We do case management with homeless mentally ill folks, and what we try to do is hook them up with services in the community. We try to be a linkage and referral agency with the other agencies that are available in the community to serve people. We try to help people through bureaucracies, bureaucratic processes such as applying for Social Security, food stamps, different kinds of things like that that take an application process, Section 8 housing, things that they cannot sometimes initiate or follow through on their own.
Not all volunteers work strictly with adults. The work that they do is as diverse as the volunteers.
I work as the religion teacher. I'm the director of religious education, which means that I plan the classes for preschool through 8th grade, and I teach all of those courses. And it's pretty flexible. I can plan the curriculum as I see fit within certain limits. And I really get a chance to enjoy the kids. I can sing songs with them, and we can do outdoor activities and do a lot of different things. So it's really a nice chance to get to know them and to share the spirituality with them.
The Jesuit volunteers live within the spiritual tradition of the Catholic Church and draw inspiration and direction from the traditions of the Jesuit order. This spirituality, rooted in the Gospels, manifests itself in a variety of ways.
The phrase that came up was Bible beaters. You thought you were getting into this very heavily religious experience.
So neat to see that
we have prayed together. And sometimes it's that formal, but the majority of the time it's just us coming together and being quiet. And I mean, maybe you'll focus on a certain issue or a certain person that has things going on in their life, like the job isn't going as well or something like that. And it's a real peaceful time. And to be able to come together for those times is really nice. And it probably wouldn't happen if I wasn't in JVC, to have that kind of time.
The Jesuit volunteers live and share their lives with other volunteers in communities ranging in size from 4 to 8 members. They begin the year in August as strangers and begin to develop a community as they run their household, pool their talents and resources, support and challenge one another.
I don't know if dorm life prepared me for JVC community living. And even though you find yourself in JVC, you think that everybody's alike and we all have these tremendous things in common, but that's not necessarily the case. Everybody is so different, and I guess that's what makes the community thrive, is that everybody has something different to contribute. But there's no stock JVC person or type. Everybody's different and everybody has different expectations. And if you're out here, if you're in any job, whether it's the city or in the rural place, and you're looking for something in particular or some degree of spirituality or community, you're sure to get it.
The volunteers learn not only from each other in their work, but at 5 different times during the year, the volunteers gather regionally for workshops, retreats, and recreation. These gatherings provide the volunteers with a variety of skills that can help them not only throughout the year, but throughout their lives.
So we have 4 different retreats, and each one focuses on a different value. And the spirituality retreat really gives you a chance to explore it for yourself. And they're not real pushy about, okay, you're going to do this, go over here and pray. They say, okay, you have this time, go over there and explore.
The JVC experience cannot be measured or explained in terms of values or works. The experience is different for each volunteer. Your work, your neighbor, your community, and most importantly, you, will determine what JVC will mean.